Oh, I got it.
Yeah, sorry.
To penetrate the French colonial government, they want to build this road for the penetrate for the Yunnan Guizhou plateau called the Yungui Gaoyan. And for the worst case is the Chinese workers suffer the worst because due to the altitude of the mountainous and the jungle and in construction accidents and this and that, they will suffer most. In my books, were explaining for more further. And 1910 to 1940, in the war, the governor general in Hanoi decision is unstable. The decision is the ammunition cannot import to China. So this railway can import for daily goods only and the commercial goods only and commercial goods. In 1940, when the French got surrendered to the Germans, her settlement also surrendered to Japan. The 1940s, before the cutting, they carried 400,000 tons of goods. 60% is governmental goods, 40% is the commercial goods. There was according to my research, there is more than 100,000 tons of goods cannot carry on because the Japanese blockade cannot export out to the Yangon. This is I explained earlier, from the Hanoi to the Mengzi to the Kunming Yunnan. This is the Yunnan Dianyue 铁路 called the Dianyue 铁路 Yunnan and Vietnamese railways. Now our main point. Before Nanqiao volunteer, we must talk about the Burma Road. Burma Road, how the Burma Road is built. We must talk about before the eve of the building. 建造前夕, the diplomatic affair must settle. First, we must negotiate with the Burmese government in Yangon or Rangoon or in other English books. And although the Burmese is partially independent from India, sometimes the Burmese Governor General needs to listen to the Indian government, governor's office, and also when the Delhi's cannot decide, must send the colonial or foreign office for the further instructions. Then there was two person must tell. The China central government in Chongqing sent the vice minister of the Ministry of Foreign Office through to Rangoon. This is another person. Then another is the Yunnan provisional government sent a special representative to Burma called the Miu Yun Tai. This is the Pinyin one. The translation is hard to difficult. Finally is because this decision must take in London. So the telegraph is this. The telegraph map is this. From Chongqing to Rangoon, Rangoon to Delhi, Delhi to London, London then take the telegraph to the Chongqing. Okay, we can get it. Then go to the Rangoon. Then this and that. That takes on for a few months. Then this and that because need to discuss this and that. Why London agreed to build these roads? Because their their business is already affected by the Japanese. So if rejected this China's this idea, then that means we will know the mutual aid. We defend ourselves. If we agree to build, yes, is the we to say we are in same front. We are same front to fight with Japan. Now the proposal is after the Yun time, we must talk about the president of the Yunnan province called Long Yun. This person is the Long Yun, and this is the head of the direct called the Yue Yanzang. How to say, the Director General of the Military Commission.
Try to minimize this so everybody can see.
this is the 龙云 this is the native 彝族 the president of the Yunnan province 龙云彝族 aboriginals Chinese in the Yunnan. This he brought to the military help in the Nanking in 1937, August of 1937. The plan was this: to build the road to the linking to the Indian Sea. The motor road, the provincial government takes most of the responsibility. Then the central government gives techniques. But another is the Yunnan Burmese Railway. Central government takes of the responsibility because the technical due to the technical problems, the railroad technician is mostly in the central government, is more in the Ministry of Transportations. Now we must talk about the north-south road disputes, 南北争议, meaning as if pass through this map will explain it for further. If the road from Chuxiong through the Dali through the Tenchong Lujiang in Tenchong is already, the elevation is already very high, then when build the motor road is already too costly, and the bridges must be very big. So the import to do these mountainous ranges and rivers is too costly, and the governments cannot wait too long. If take another alternative from Chuxiong to Dadari to Baoshan to Wanti, you can see this elevation altitude is far more lower to easier to construct the road. But the railway is from the Chuxiong to the Linchang to the Burma. This is another topic I will not to explain. Then the director of the Yunnan Burma Highway Administration in 交通部联盟公路管理局, the director is the Tam Bo Yi, is also suggests choose the south route to save the cost, and the motor authority of the Yunnan province also said the southern route is more safe costly. About the Burma road, the long is above to 1,146 kilometers. The China side is 960. The Burma side is the 190s. Built by the Yunnan Provincial Highway Administration, Yunnan 全省公路总局 called the director of the highway. The technician is by the road administration by the National Economic Commission. 全国经济委员会公路处 cost 2 million by the security yen, built by the various people, and the height is the 200,000 people built this road. I will give the documentary. This is the Burma road, and I explained earlier is the Kunming to Haiphong. This is another route to the Chongqing. This is also the motor road, and this from last year the Rangoon, the Burmese railway is from Rangoon to Mandalay to Rasio, then use the new built Burma road to import to China. This is another photo. This is already in 1940s. The Han is gone to the Japan. So this is the military say the possible to penetrate to the Japanese trust. This is the mountainous belt, as I explained earlier. If go to this is more the elevation lower. If go to the south to north to the Tibetan plateau is more costly. I cannot wait anymore. This is the director of the runway. The difficulties, as I explained, the altitude and temperature. As I mentioned, this road is got many elevations, and also the temperature is different, and so due to this road it throughout in the jungleness, mountainous and jungle, then got the mosquito brought diseases like the malaria, very as Nanyang volunteers got the malaria also, and lack of the machineries and all by the human hand, and also lack of manpower because the man is already fight on the front line of the war. So left behind is women and children. And I will give the document as this. This is the called the why we fight in the Battle of China.
Port after port was occupied.
You will explain our fight in 5 minutes.
She was being cut off from supplies she couldn't manufacture for herself. Supplies she was getting from her Western friends. Without oil, gas, guns, and planes, China was doomed. With the whole of the Chinese coast in the hands of the Japs, there would only be 2 routes over which to bring the vitally necessary materials.
This is the tip of the Burma Road.
A narrow gauge railway ran inland from the sea to Kunming, connecting with a truck road that went to Chongqing, but its capacity was limited. And then there was the old trail of the camel caravans from Russia across the Gobi Desert, which could bring in even less. Not only did these routes provide too little for China's needs, but they were too near Jap territory to be safe. There was only one other possibility. In Burma was a railroad that ran from the port of Rangoon to Malaya, separating it from the truck road at Kunming, were hundreds of miles of high mountains and deep river gorges. If this stretch of tortuous mountain trails could be replaced by a modern highway, where now only pack trains could pick their plodding way,
This is called Mao Bang Fo Yun in Chinese.
To Burma and the sea. Several internationally known firms of engineers were called in to do the job. They said the work might be completed in 6 or 7 years, if China could supply them with the most modern machinery. But China didn't have the modern machinery.
Use the traditional way to build up.
For 7 years. So she began building the road with her bare hands. 'By thousands, by tens of thousands, by hundreds of thousands, they toiled at the back-breaking task of carving this desperately needed supply line out of the reluctant mountains.
Children one.
And out of their toil and their sweat, they created the Burma Road. Not in 6 or 7 years, but in less than 12 months. A monument of the new spirit, the new China.
This truck is also taken our forefathers too. In China's driver and our forefathers too. This documentary is explicitly explain this.
As soon as it was completed, the road went into immediate service.
Sorry, can you pause for a while? Because those people who are online cannot see this video. I think I need to change the settings.
我有那个screenshot 了。
Okay.
有 screenshot。
Okay.
I have a screenshot for this.
Maybe you need to you click the new share and you select this and then share. And then you can continue to play this video.
No, you already finished.
Oh.
太迟了啦。
Okay. You can get something.
And then the third highway,
And this
separating it from the truck road at Kunming, for hundreds of
我再
miles
重复一
of
次
high
啦。
mountains.
你爸爸的啦。
Okay, okay.
If this stretch of tortuous mountain trails could be replaced by a modern highway, where now only pack trains could pick their plodding way, China would have a practical supply route to Burma and the sea. Several internationally known firms of engineers were called in to do the job. They said the work might be completed in 6 or 7 years, if China could supply them with the most modern machinery. But China didn't have the modern machinery, nor did she have the 6 or 7 years. So she began building the road with her bare hands. By thousands, by tens of thousands, by hundreds of thousands, they toiled at the back-breaking task of carving this desperately needed supply line out of the reluctant mountains. Their toil and their sweat, they created the Burma Road, not in 6 or 7 years, but in less than 12 months. A monument of a new spirit, a new China. As soon as it was completed, the road went into immediate service. By thousands, the trucks shuttled back and forth between its terminals.
We will explain the difficulties.
Climbing to nearly 10,000 feet, around hairpin curves, along the edges of sheer precipices, where passing trucks had barely 1 foot of clearance. And the blood plasma of new supplies flowed steadily over China's lifelines of the sea, protected.
Okay.
这个我从来没操作过。Yes. And you see the documentary and the most I will not repeat it again, and the document as already explained in the lack of machinery and all by human hand. This not in the hands any of hands. It is a various of the any in the Yunnan province. And this is a capture one. In case of if the video cannot show you, I use this screenshot. These children if they live in age of the 90 already, because this children is very young. If they are still in life, they will be 19 years old already, right? Above. And the road was built out, and another difficulty is the human problem 人事问题, and maybe as the corruption, because the customer if you want to act fast for the custom checks you give more money to bribe the officers, then they will you can go. I will not check your truck's goods. And the black market is meaning is the governmental goods is say this let's say 1 month $1, but in black market can sell $2 to $3 because the scarcity of the goods. And the traffic accident, as the document said in the previous, if you are pay attention to the drives, you will go down the accident and go to the gorges. Bridges, we must explain the bridges. These bridges is component 零件 is made by the Chinese factory in the Rangoon. There's a guy to director of it go to the Rangoon to take the plan that's to the factory. Said you must use this plan to build up the components and transported as the by rail and motor road, but to the construction they carry out by man. Due to the motor road is even to build out here. There is two famous bridges, the Huitong Bridge, and some old books as written as a Huitong. This is the well-guessed one. Sometimes the English book they translate it as a Shaowen River Bridge, Shawenjiang, and the Gongguo Bridge of the Langchangjiang, and sometimes a tributary river for the Mekong River. these two bridges is the target of the Japanese airplanes, because if cut off these two bridges and broke out the bridges, the Burma Road is already useless. This is the Hui Tong Qiao. And then you can see the Nanqiao Jigong, they will remember that Hui Tong Qiao is like this. We drive goods in trucks, they were like this. They're feeling like this because this is the Ganglan, the steel lines, and they were feeling like this. We are this, feeling like this. This is the after the broke out, the 1944, the restoration of the Hui Tongqia. This you can see the already bombard this to stop the Japanese advance in the Burma into Goming in 1942. I will explain further. This is the Gongguo Qiao. This is if the bridges is already blocked or already bombarded. If the repairment cannot, as soon as repair this bridge, is another alternative. Use these gas stones, these gas barrels to build up. Use the wood to build up another wooden bridges. So the barrels is not in oil. They will floated in the water. So the floated bridges can hold out the weight of the trucks and goods. This photo is you can see this is the floated bridges, and the trucks is need to drive slowly because if you cannot concentrate your mind, you will go to the bridge, then your goods and this and that you're all gone. No need to rescue. And this is the plan in Chinese one. I gave it in the Yunnan's old books in there. And open to traffic. I explained in months they already postponed many times because the roads due to the elevation, difficult elevation and the difficulties of the roads. They postponed many times. Then the president of the provisional said, how do you postpone? The complaint said you postponed it 2 times already, and you keep promise that you are postponing. How I give faces to the central government? They say it like this. Now is the 38 the roads generally complete, but the monsoon rain ruins everything and needs to time to improve. August 98. The improvement work is still in progress, then to open to traffic. Now talk about the authorities. Military goods, as our ancestors, our forefather is also in the under in this commission is called the Southwest Transportation Company Military Commission， 叫军事委员会西南进出口物资总经理处 as for short is the 西南运输处。The road maintenance is by the Yunnan Burma Highway Administration Transportation 滇缅公路管理局。There were many of the transportation of other government authorities such as Red Cross, National Resources Commission, and this and that. The list is very long one. You can check it in my book in there. So there were many improving report like this. There were many improving reports, such as our Nanqiao Jigong, Nanyang report also got, and this and that. But because the road is emergency built road, this is the unpaved road, not like our you see in the Kuala Lumpur is the paved road. This is unpaved road, 黄土路. And if you drive, you very in dry days, very dusty. And if in the rainy day, it is a muddy road. So you need to pay attention to drive this truck. Otherwise, your car will stuck in the muddy road. Then the Nanqiao Jigong is explain this and that. The most famous one is this report. Given by 3 American roads as well as then Einstein, Davis, Hellman. After also the Burma roads, they sent report many names are called report on the present trafficking operation as conducted on the Burma Road and recommendation for their improvement. This document, original document, is kept in Academia Historica in Taipei, Taiwan. This document, you can see. These details are there are very many details, such as the transportation authorities, traffic transport delays, trust and component control, overload, communications. Communication means that how do you communicate with these drivers, station to drivers? How do you communicate? This is another section. It's also confusing. Is communications and drivers and mechanics trainees and tire. Tires in tire is a plural form, but need to control the 16 governmental authorities very difficult. If you build up another above this authority, wow, you mean you want to control us? We will boycott you, these authorities. You die. And also many private cars also difficult to check because government trust is easy to control, easy to check, but many trust is meaning that there were many private commercial companies. Some says you 2% share buy trust, then we say how to say 叫做合作合作合作we share this book is the profit and we 50 another lah. So very difficult to check. Now we must talk about the growth of the Burma Road and 90 due to the pressure in 3 months. Due to the pressure of the Japanese aggression, the British agreed to temporary closure for 3 months. Why they closure for 3 months? Because the British we were British colonies. The British, our British mother is facing the Germany's bombings because the bombing in London. This is the climax of the bombing London, the bombings of London and Dover's, Plymouth, and this and that. And it was also bombarded. And then, although the Chinese government is strongly protest, then the ambassador to London also want to resign because, you cross out. I want to resign as the protest a strong protest for you. Because the closure, the Nanqiao Qigong also the Southwest Transportation Bureau also organized the rescue team to import the military material because some bullets are in the need to make bullets. There was important material is imported from the overseas. Without these materials, the military factory cannot produce these materials. And after the closure, this is the worsening for the inflation. The inflation is already out of control. The inflation is slowly worsened. After the closure, the inflation was out of control. It's rising up. Previously, they were 100% below closure. After closure, 200%, 300%, 400, 800, 1,000. Hard to control. If the government say promulgate main laws and this and that, also cannot control because the scarcity of the materials and goods during the inflation. Thus, our China's poor industrialization, as I mentioned earlier, the transportation flows mean for the factories raw material flows also. So another is the transportation meaning as the money flows, the financial flows. If we wait the international laws, they was too slow for the too slow and too late. So the government treasury cannot help anymore. So there's only one method printing banknotes to settle out these my books or the dealing this with that. And after for the post-war, also cannot quote the center. And for the worst is the KMT, the CCP war was began. Called now is the medium words for the 国共内战. In Taiwanese terms, called the 动员戡乱, because the Kuomintang is the Kuomintang government, the government that time called the 动员戡乱. In the CCP terms, they call the how to say? 解放战争叫什么 ？The War of what 啊？Yes, the War of the Liberation。哎，他们叫做什么？伟大的解放战争。我们要加伟大，哎，否则，And if due to the closure, then petrol cannot, trucks component cannot import. Then use what to import? Traditional ways to carry goods. Use animal caravans and wagons and human wagons to import to go on, because there were petrol also imported. And the fall in the Burma, after Harbor incident, the Japanese army seized Hong Kong, Philippines, Malaya, British Borneo, Netherlands, Indonesia, and before 1942 February, Burma was the only foreign colony haven't fought the Japanese. And China sent the best troops to the help British, called the 中国远征军. And the second is the miscommunication and distrust with the Chinese and British troops, because the British want to retreat to the India. The Chinese army was, we want to protect this road and our lifeline. This is our lifeline in that time. So in the March in 1942, the Rangoon fall to the Japanese army, meaning was that the Burma Road was cut. And April of the 1942, the Russia fall. End of May, war Burma was gone. And as I explained, the bombing of Freedom bridges to stop the Japanese advance to coming. This is the map. In end of this in Russia is the terminus port from railroad to motor road. If the road is cutting, the road is already gone. So and distrust with both troops. The British go to the India, the China army go to the Indians and split it to two groups called the Chinese Indian army and their own army. Now, no in war, but lost in jungle and totally landlocked and inflation out of control, lack of material, and for worse is the tension between the US and China. And how many goods inflow in the China, according to my calculation, if use the official record is 405,000 tons used in official record. And further 50 government institutions haven't seen the record, may increase to 45,000, 450 to 500,000 tons. Imports, what imports? I explained earlier is the petrol, trucks and components, guns, tires, planes, materials and daily goods. We export as what? The agricultural goods and the earth minerals as palm oil, tin bronze, aluminum bronze, bristle. Bristle is zhuzhong. Now, our forefather story. And this I need to explain that this is for the background one. Because the Chinese government nationality war 国籍法 haunted due to Bandung Conference 1 causing dispute. In the Bandung Conference, the Japanese said you follow to your residential nations, not to follow your birthplace nations. That's all. If they will not program this law, your father's nationality is Chinese, but residential in the British Malaya. So the British said, you are the king's people, you are the queen's people. But why you 叫咩啊？效忠royalty to the China? This is causing the disputes. So many books will explain this that, and this royalty to the China is causing many disputes and causing people's confusion. So in this background is the main incident for incident 1919年May 4 incident 五四运动 and restoring and because the restoring the Kyoto and the Shandong Peninsula, but the Paris Conference is decided to Japan, causing 五四运动. This is the rise of nationalism. The second is the 济南惨案 in May in 1928. The Muggles incident 918事件. Muggles is 01. The new name called Shenyang. Muggles is 01, old name for the Shenyang. Then July 7, 1937, Marco Polo Bridge. This is called. So say Marco Polo go to Lucou and say, "Wow, this is a golden bridge for that time." This is already a stone bridge for that time, but the writing say, "Oh, this is a golden bridge," and called the Lucou. And we must explain the Wangen Wu's three types of Chinese theory. There was three types of the Chinese theory. First is the only care Chinese method, and they don't care their residential nations method. Second kind is the both care. They care China's method. They also care the residential nations method. Third is the only care the residential nations method. Don't care the forefathers nations. And we must talk about the organization in Singapore. And in this Singapore act very fast. And after the Shanghai Battle of Shanghai, the Singapore first organized held in the Singapore Chinese Temple called 新加坡总商会 and set up a committee that based on dialects Hokkien, Canton, Teochew, Hainan, Hakka. This is the most one. The other is due to the calculate how to say 人数人數少。對政府唔做對唔住咯。And what the meta celebration fund is the youth fund fair, selling farmers, charity sales, charity driving, taxi and tricycle. And school also support this. Schools also support the raising fund, buying government bonds and donate to the Chinese government. Training mechanism, paramedics, and also lastly is boycott Japanese goods. You're selling Japanese goods. We boycott you until you bankrupt. This is the nowadays of the buildings. This is the 新加坡中华总商会. Now, before talk about the organization, we must talk about this person. Yes, Mr. Takakis, our the 老板 of my book. Before introducing the Southeast organization, we must introduce the Mr. Takakis. Today and this year is 150 years of the birth of the Mr. Takakis. He born in Jimei, Xiamen, and 1928 to 1920. Experienced in the organizing activities, boycott goods, and raising funds to support the Chinese government. 筹政会 Before this, Chinese in British Mandate was secretly support this to support government because the social calamities passing the law. If you are openly said you are supporting the Chinese government or the what, they will suppress you. Neither for CCP, neither for KMT, they suppress and deadly. The social calamity passed the law. So the both parties are secretly organized in the underground. And Mr. Takaki's photo. Now we must talk about Nanqiao Zhonghui. This is the official name for the Federation of the Chinese Relief Fund of the South Sea. Who this idea? Many say Takaki's 功勞其實唔係。This is the Takaki's say contribution. No, and it is Zhong Xigang of Batavia and Li Qingchuan of the Philippines. And Takaki said we discussed a headquarters for the organization. Then in 1930, 10, they were organized in Yihoan House, Yihexian, as the headquarters for the federation. There were many 45 organizations and 168 representatives attend this opening assembly. Also in Sabah or Sarawak also, but Sabah Sarawak is another story. HQ, headquarters set in Singapore. In South Asia, set the branches. The branches list is very long, so I cut off the to Jungwei lah. This is your handcrafts nowadays. Now, recruiting the drivers and mechanics. Now, I explained later the consultant permanent and recruited by this company. And now, 1939, from February to September 1939, these our forefathers from Yangon or Rangoon to from Yangon is another route, from Hanoi is another route, from Canton is another route. According to the Judita in Sabah, as told me of Sarawak, it has told me the numbers. This is the most confusing one. If you want to research this Nanqiao Qigong's method, the numbers is most confusing one. According to Judita Lim is 4,000. Mine is calculated is nearly to her calculation. In the history record, they were 3,192. But this is the history one in the Singapore. But got the 600 more is grouping without report to HQ. There were many also report to the HQ or report to the South the branches. They said, we are friends. We are voting. We buy the own boat ticket to the Hanoi and Yangon without reporting to the branches and also in the HQ. They were said we nói chuyện自己可以啦，唔報過你哋啦。They go there by themselves. This 600 is Thailand 108, Netherlands East India, Indonesia 45, Philippines 24, Burma 6, Vietnam 70. Other races is Malaysia and English 94. And these are said 260 more is boarding by themselves, but they buy on ticket then go to drive cars. Why the Netherlands East English very few? Because the control of the immigrants British Malay is a little bit loosened of the immigrants and immigrants of the people. But in the Netherlands East English, the Netherlands government is strengthening the laws of the immigrants. So you see the Netherlands and Philippines. Why so few people to support it? The Chinese people, why so few people? Because these countries are Netherlands East English is the most written down. The Philippines is too far, is nearer, but very few. The Netherlands East English don't see go to the Batavia, then cut in the Batavia cannot go out already. And because they are openly support the Chinese government, they didn't care the Netherlands matter, then to stop you opening, then we stop you these leaders. Now training where is training? Training in the 1939 May 5th, training in transportation for personal training center in 彭家湾艺术训练所。死咗咯。彭家湾艺术训练所。Now what I training the courses, military training, morning exercise, drill, counter C to officers, learn to wave weapon, drill with the weapon. Because you also drive the truck, yes, drive the truck, but if you facing the Japanese army, what do you want to what weapon do you want to fight? With knife cannot. We must learn how to take drill to the weapons. Lack of water and medicines. Courses. Some Chinese can't even read Chinese, so need to open the literacy classes, political classes, for political classes meaning for to understanding the Chinese interior informations. 新松松花江这是义勇军进行，然后 the national anthem of the PRC. And practical courses, driving and military training, repairs and weapon drill. Because these Chinese need to drive in mountainous road, need extra trainings. This is the彭家湾艺术训练所. Now is the Yunnan Normal University, Yunnan 师范大学. Now facing the problems, as I earlier mentioned in the PPT, said the road is poor already, and many landslide. I forgot to say the landslide and monsoon rain attack. The landslide will go. Then I explained same as the construction people, they were facing disease, malaria, diseases, poison snake and pieces. And traffic accident as that. If you cannot pay attention, you crash with other cars or you cannot pay attention, the car is go to the gorges and you cannot find it. And yeah, Maya how to say?
But the body, the
The dead body you cannot find. The trucks already gone. The goods also gone. And the essence, because our forefathers speaking in Peking say your Chinese is not the pure Chinese essence. Your Chinese is not the accurate one. We cannot listen it. So the essence is another thing. So if cannot listen, we fight in. And the Chinese airplane bombardment, because I forgot to say the road is very important for the Chinese government. So the Japanese plan to bombard this road. If our forefather drive the trucks and the the Japanese want the airplane bombard the roads, they want to hide find a place to save yourself first. The car bombard, never mind. You person, you must save yourself. And about to 1,000 son, but in Linsahua say half 4,000 people, there were 2,000 died in the road. Contribution, we must talk. As my record, carrying these 400,000 tons of material, mostly of trucks, and our mechanics can assemble 5 trucks per day. This is a miracle because the native Burmese native one can assemble 1 truck per day. And there was 4,000 drivers. The overseas Chinese drivers is made up of the 55%. Others mainly Chinese. And my calculation, 4 years the drivers is carrying 80 tons of material. This as I explained earlier, I know go further. And after war, the rehabilitation it begins in 1942. This is the year the Burma Road was cutting off. Then the drivers lost their jobs, and some to change in hawkers, hotels, and others in the people. Then 1945 to 1947 to back to the Southeast Asia, there was a tension between the Kankakis and the nationalist government. This is another topic or long topic, hot debate. Because your nationalist government is too slow for restoring our forefathers. What happening to your government? Corrupt or what? Or this and that. So the tension is another story one. Another is the 1,000 is back to Southeast Asia, particularly Malaysia, Sabah, Sarawak, Singapore. The other 1,000 is made in China, mainly with the local people. They will work as drivers and mechanics. Now we want to two cases. One is tragic one. One is the peaceful one. Li Yuemei, this woman. This is a woman disguised as man and to work with men. And accident reveals his true identity. The man rescued her, then he married. They will open a coffee shop in Burma. 1950, he was a Burma online. Met him in Burma. But in 1968, in the height of the Cultural Revolution, he committed suicide, left her 8 children. These children and wife they condemn her as nationalist spy, 国民党特务, and torture her by spiritually and mentally, and then committed suicide. He can't take anymore, they die. This is the old photo. This photo is can fetch in the internet. You can fetch one. This photo is taken in 1999. I taken in the photo book of the Burma Road. This red shirt, women with the red shirt is their daughter, the third daughter, Ning Yu. We met this person is the nieces of the Chen Gongchun, Chen Jia Dankaki's grandson. And he said, I'm pity to your situation isn't that A peaceful cases called 白血桥 is 100 years old, dead in 100 years old, born in the Ansi County, high educated woman. He further studied to the GMA, further to the Xiamen University. Very high. At that time, is very highly educated. Now, 1939, he secretly participated to volunteer to China. Her letter made her famous. Literally in Chinese said, in English said, farewell to Nanqiao, farewell to my fathers and mothers. A story to cannot fulfill piety to you and sorry to my brothers. Now, another is 1949. He go to the left east. Because I see the corruption of the national government and this and that, he raised the CCP flag in Dongshan School, Dongshan 小学, Bincheng Dongshan 小学, he raised the flag. Then 1950, the banished from Malaya, go to the Guangdong to as a teacher. He was the CCP member. 1950, he participated as a CCP member. This is the photo of the university. This is the 1960 as a teacher in the Guangdong. Now it's the older days. Other races in the participant following the god. Indian one is called Wang Yanen. Wang Yanen is the his best friend, but due to the actual one kept in their father said, my son want to volunteer this. I want to stop her. They are locked in their home. So these Indian people he can speak Chinese, Cantonese Hokkien also. One is then he said, I disguise this as my disguise it, then go to drive it. And the Malay is the Makassing. Lin Shaohua said the 2 days ago he said called actually is Malaya Sen. And SPD has reported to the station in Xiaguan. This is another photo, but according to the expert, say this is not the Wang Yan, it's another photo one. We must this photo, this must explain. This photo is actually in the Qinglong County, Qinglong Xian, in the Guizhou province, not as the Bermuda is wrongly as Bermuda for the 6 decades. And it's a part of Sichuan Yunnan Highway. It was mainstream for the wartime road wrongly as the Bermuda for the 6 decades because because our forefathers is also drive these roads. Then this and that, we do not know. We know as we are following instruction to carry goods to the Chongqing. And this Qinglong Xian is between Guiyang and the Kunming, is middle of it. So if you want to go, you go to the National Highway 320 to find it. Now, this is the development in the Yunnan after 1988 to 1990s. This is the Selangor in the Guangdong Cemetery Hill. In the 7/7 in every year in 7/7 they will worship this in this reporter go to there in the Guangdong Cemetery Hill. This is the Penang's one. And my further research is the City Railroad, then Assam India linking to the old Burma Road and the Ham. This map will further explain the goods is from the Calcutta through the roads and to the Lidos and the roads and continue by new Burma new road constructed road to the Mikinga through the Tenchong to the old Burma Road to Kunming. This is 1944 to 1945. This is another explain route. I do not do further explain what is another route also. Finish. 我已经拿我的看家本领了，我其实 我也有看教本领的。
Alright, what a wonderful, emotional presentation and deliver a very comprehensive, but also share. I mean, long history. I mean, not only like the involvement of the people, but also the material, and we were able to see like the time when the individuals, people, not only, I mean, they are innocent of being into that, or maybe they are volunteer because of this nationalistic sentiment there, and the environment, the global environment. I mean, in the World War II also, if we look these individual cases, no matter Nanyang volunteer, Nanqiao机工, or the transportation study, we cannot like stay out from the big context of the wartime period and the nationalism, as well as other humanities. You see like the people who are betrayed and the people who are coming together. Yeah, this is really amazing and good job. And I think the next session will be the Q&A, because this topic I think is very effective, and we would like to invite our audience, and also for those who are online, maybe you can raise your hands or text over the chat box, or you just, for those online, you can just unmute your microphone to ask. Yeah, please.
李大的陈志胜有来哟，李大单机线啊，University of Science of 宜宾啊，那个是大佬来的。
Any questions or comments?
Can I ask a question,
Yes.
Mr. Ho?
Yeah. Professor Lee.
I'm Lee Kam Heng. Yeah?
Oh, okay.
Yes. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry I couldn't be there personally, but I really enjoyed. It's a very good presentation, very, very detailed. I would like to ask, I'm not too clear, how many volunteers were there from Southeast Asia? Because I get the impression that it was about 4,000. Is it 4,000? Of which you say that 1,000 came back, 1,000 remained in China. So what happened to the 2,000? Were they killed or so? This is the figures I would like to get some clarification. My second question would be, I would like to know a little bit the background of those who volunteered. I mean, you gave two very good examples. One who remained in China to be a teacher, and the other person, had a very unfortunate situation during the Cultural Revolution. But it'll be very interesting if you could provide some background information about those 4,000 or from Malaya. I think it would. I am not very sure the kind of background. Were they involved in some organizations before? Were they already attracted to left-wing movements? Were these, more of them were perhaps inspired by the Kuomintang, or were some of them inspired by the left-wing groups, or perhaps others were not ideologically, ideology was not important, they just want to go back to China. If you can provide some background, is it possible for you to do that, Mr. Lin? Thank you so much.
Thank you for the Professor Lee's question about the two. You asked the 1,000 died in the 1,000 is remain in China. 1,000 is the remain in Malaya. The 2,000 is the died. Some is died in traffic accident. And first, this is first. Then 2 is the most serious one. Died in the malaria. The malaria can keep all. Although we have the cure for But then in that time, the cure is very expensive. Need to import it from the overseas called the in Chinese called the quinine. And but in China there was very few known this type of medicine. In Nanyang or our forefathers quinine, we know this cure. But in that time in China they discussed because the elevation different and altitude altitude or longitude is totally different from our Nanya's homeland. Then you said the background. What the background is they say and my boss also tell he said I heard the Mr. Tankakis say we want to help the China to fight on. I followed Mr. Tankakis announce. I go. Then some is the Tauke said some is the Tauke one. Go. You are my workers. Go. We go to the China by shipping. And some is saying my friends go to China. I'm also to participate on with him also. That is background. Even lower ages even I have seen the record because the criteria said need to 20 to 40 years old. Then some children are said these guys says they 17, 18 years old, 19 years old. The reporter said they are as 20 years old. Actually it's illegal one. Actual age is 81. I disguise as 20. Then I also to participate. This is another one. You said the left list is meaning to the support the CCP or Kuomintang Mr. Lee, Professor Lee.
Yes. What I mean is this, that some of this, I would imagine that most of those who volunteered yes, because they had this desire to go back to the homeland. I mean, China was still the homeland for many, to fight for China. But it seems to be that there were some who were pro Kuomintang because there were already at that time Kuomintang organizations in Malaya, so they may have these organizations may have helped recruit, but there were others who perhaps were more inclined towards the left wing. Whether you could see differences in the kind of background. I mean, that would be interesting. Who are the people? What inspired them? What made them go volunteer? Because I did hear from my father, that he and his friends all talk about it. Were there organizations which were promoting this campaign or campaign to get young people to go back to China? Were there organizations? Was it the Hui Guan? Were there newspaper reports and so on? So what were the mechanism? What were the means by which Tankaki was able to
promote the recruit? No, I got your meaning. Actually, there were advertisement in his newspaper called the Nanyang Xiangbao.
Okay.
There was an advertisement because I connected because the time give me 2 hours I can talk this, but the time is short. Then I eat. Other person ask that I respond. The Mr. Kankaki, you said the Hui Guan God, the branches and the branches in Malaya in the southeast also promoting their these activities. God, but due to the immigrants and immigrants control in the Southeast Asia is different. Malaysia is loosened. British Malaya and British North Korea is loosened. More loosened than Netherlands East Indies. Netherlands East Indies now Indonesia is totally locked. Cannot go. You only can smuggle out Then the Thailand also. you are my king's people. How do you go to betray your king's will? And also the Teochews in Thailand also few. Then the Burma is Burma also, because they are visited with various ethnic in Burma. They said, huh? My father was a Chinese. I don't never heard that this and that. You say the promoting one actually is the branches. First is the branches. Secondly is the his newspaper called the Nanyang Xiangbao. Nanyang Xiangbao got many 叫几号通告，几号通告，几号通告，几号通告，the 6号通告，the sixth announcement is how to say a manuscript one. Then the 14th announcement is more further information. You must buy this, buy that, buy this, buy that. You take this, take photo, then ticket this and buy this, buy that, buy this. Then I scored as $80 straight dollar in that time. 90 years ago, straight dollars. Right. And you see the sympathy of the Kuomintang and CCP. Yes, many as Kuomintang was pro Kuomintang. I cannot sure, but they will go to the where they see in Malaysia is Kuomintang institution. Yes, but go to the inland. He said, "Ayya." Kuomintang government so corrupted and these and many counterfeits and this and that our essence were given then they say the CCP is our not as God is our heaven for us. Then we some memoirs I read but his children or grandchildren says my father is heard the CCP in Shanxi is a heaven. I need to they know to drive it to the Shanxi and to see the clear picture for the CCP's heaven called 那时候叫做天堂啦。还有 he want to see how to say the balance images some you say the sympathy to Kuomintang CCP. Yes, I have seen the memoirs too.
Okay, good. Thank you so much, Mr. Lim. Thank you.
Yes, your pleasure. Any questions? Oh, Mr. James. Right.
Make some comment and maybe some question. Pick it up.
Hello. Yes, Shamon. Yes, yeah.
I think the rise of Chinese.
Okay, up there. Okay. So
I think the rise of Chinese.
sure. Yeah.
Modern Chinese. I add the word modern Chinese nationalism in China did not begin with the Marco Polo Bridge incident, the invasion of Japan. It started long ago. The Chinese in Malaya and Singapore, and for that matter, whole Southeast Asia, participated in the Sun Yat-sen's revolution 1911. So is that anti-Japanese war is the last stage of the culminations, the climax of the what the culmination of the whole movement,
The climax.
So another point I want to make is that many people and even historians forgotten that, or even do not know that the modern Chinese politics at that time is not only divided between Kuomintang and the CCP. There are different factions, left-wing faction within the Kuomintang. My grandmother belonged to one of them, Song Heng Ling. Faction. The Kuomintang, Song Qingling, Kuomintang, Geming Pai, something like that. You know? So there are also some of the from America, the Zhigong is affiliated to Kuomintang, but not communist, but pro-communist.
Wow.
Is it?
Yes.
And then because they all derived their idea from Sun Yat-sen. Sun Yat-sen, before he died, he said, let us cooperate a united front with the Soviet Union. 联共联俄伏龙宫. So the Chiang Kai-shek faction who who led the war is the right wing of the party.
Yes.
And there is of course a writer one Wang Jin-wei, the Nanjing government.
Yes.
So there are all kinds of factions in Malaya. They also those days lah. Say the Chinese in Ipoh, they call it the running dogs. The Chinese running dogs. They belong to the Wang Jin-wei faction in the Nanjing government. The Nanjing government set up a lot of companies in Hong Kong, especially import-export, fisheries in Penang, Ipoh, and all this. When the Japanese came, they lead the Japanese into Ipoh. They cooperate, they set up the administration in Ipoh. That's why after the war, Chiang King's War, a lot of this is what they call running dog killing. To me, it's normal. It's not only the communists here in France they killed. The resistance after defeated Hitler. All the Mussolini, they hang it in the lamppost. So it's quite in Italy lah. After the war, normally people do that. Chinese man, lead the Japanese to rape my wife. Now the Japanese defeated, come after you lah. So that kind of thing, a lot of confusion, not that clear cut. The thing is not clear cut.
Vengeance.
So basically that is my contribution to your discussion. Thank you.
Because the rise I narrated already because I'm not very familiar. And the rising of nationalism, yes, as you mentioned, in the end of the 1890s to the 900, yes, got the rising nationalism. This is another part one, and it's another right part. Then the climax is the Huanghua Gangzi in the 1911 also. This is the climax one. Actually, this as you says, you say this is the old climax. This is the first climax. Second climax is the 1928 the Xinan incident, 济南惨案.
Yes.
济南惨案. This is second one, and because the Nanqiao is organizing the funds committee. Then they send the money to the Nanking government. They say we support you, and this is the second climax. Then after that, the third climax is the 1937 中博 fight. 所以有些华人的书，some Chinese written books say, three times of the climax nationalism. And 3 to 4 times already, 3 times.
I mean, if you want to get a starting point of the modern Chinese nationalism, 1896, I think. After the defeat of the China-Japan War, and then the 割据 Taiwan, Japanese, that's starting the modern Chinese humiliation at the century of humiliation.
火子可以講 called in the terms in historical the first Sino-Japanese War. This because in Chinese word called, because the year is called 甲午，所以called the 甲午战争。But in the English terms, they do not call 甲午战争, they call the first Sino-Japanese War. Then the English for this war resistance with Japan called the second Sino-Japanese War in the English term. You see, if you see the Chinese they call 抗日战争. But if you see the English study, you cannot see you can't see the war, the resistance war. They call it as the second Sino-Japanese War, or simply as the Sino-Japanese War. Because the terms is very different. Like yesterday they said the propaganda information film. Yes, because the term in in Chinese world, we didn't feel that propaganda is a bad words. But if you are with the English speaking, particularly in the Germany, they call it because the ministerial in the Germany called Reich Ministerium for Propagandas. So the propagandas are already in English term called the negative one. So they changed that as the Ministry of the News or Ministry of the Information or something else because the propaganda was is already negative as Holocaust. You use this you use Holocaust use it wisely because the Jews
Any other questions or comments? Oh, Professor Stephen Leong.
哎呀，
Yeah, Professor Stephen.
哎呀，久仰久仰。
Thank you very much, Mr. Lim. I think you may remember me
Yes.
because we have been in correspondence for email for the last year and a half. Yeah, and he was very interested in what I was doing, and I was interested in what he was doing. So I am very, very impressed by your detailed research, on the overseas Chinese mechanics, drivers going to China and so on, and the amount of information, including the documentary films and so on. Fantastic, and but referring to the nationalism, birth of nationalism, and so on, I think my little book may help. Okay.
got it. You got it with your autograph.
So that's good. If we want to know about overseas Chinese nationalism in Malaya at that time, I have this little book called Sources, Agencies, and Manifestations. In other words, what are the sources? And the sources are, as we see, the first Sino-Japanese War, and then we have the Shanghai革命, and Jinan incident, Mukden incident, all building up. Okay? And then I talk about the agencies. Agencies meaning what are the organizations responsible? Then I go into Chamber of Commerce, okay, and the Chinese schools, okay, plus the visitors coming from China. You see, yes. And then the Kuomintang in China trying to revive the Sun and Juyi Youth Corps and so on, okay? And the Lan Yi group became representative and so on, okay? Yeah. And then we have this conflict, as you know, of the Kuomintang in China and CCP, and here in Malaya, the Kuomintang Malaya branch and the Malaysian Communist Party. So everything was intertwined. Okay?
Yes.
So that is the but you focus on today's topic on mechanic. I have one small section only, and this was written as a PhD thesis about 57 years ago, So finally, it got published. So I'm very glad that you are able to go further, and detail research. So I salute you, Mr. And I was hoping to to meet you one day. And so when I saw this little WhatsApp announcement that you were giving a seminar here, I said, oh, I must come, you see. But I came late, 20 minutes late, because I was looking for Jabatan Pengajian Tionghoa. I couldn't find it, you know. I need ways to go look around. It was incredible. Finally, I found it. So I'm very glad, yeah. So congratulations, and I hope you will continue your fine, thorough research. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Want to say something, Mr. Lim?
睇到我想喊啊！I want to cry 啊 ，because we did in touch in 20 years. Then you say the Mr. Wong, he said you need your soft print, soft book.
Yes.
Then you say your former school said did not keen. This seminar is under by my junior because he is my secondary school's junior. I am the Malacca, so we are the Malacca Payphone Middle School. We are the same school. He is when I left in Payphone is the 2009. He may be in a little junior 1 or junior 2. 你是几年毕业的？
I joined in the year of 2008. So
那就
I think we have a gap.
the meaning is as your explanation is you are the junior 1 or first junior 1. I am only in high school 高中 the senior 3 and near to the decision to where I want to further study Taiwan, China or overseas. Overseas this 就是没有我 I speak in Chinese 没有你的你 and then he said he know the advertisement of my new boss launching ceremony in the Chinese Assembly Hall. He said 2 weeks before the 2 weeks of he said I asked the Pengajian Tionghoa can get or his Department of History can get a chance for lecture or not. He said I need to try it or make it or do not make it cannot assure for you. Then he said last 1 week he said 得冇問題得我就得我就 say three lectures. So I come here 最後一場this is my 3 days lecture in the Kuala Lumpur because first is the Health University for the public lecture in the called the MPL Malaysia Public Library in the Wisma here in the Samantan. This is the first. Second is my book in the Chinese Assembly Hall in the yesterday. Third is today. So when my student said I already busy in giving two PPTs. So he said third time he said you go to the third lecture. Then he said you can speak Chinese or he can give me 2 options. One is can you use Chinese on because this is Pengajian Tionghoa, you can use in Chinese. This is 不可否认可以用，当他because he said if you use in Chinese, your audience is only for the Chinese speaking person. If I am speaking in the English one, you can see you can how to say 吸引叫什么啊
attract.
Can attract to the other institute or others department students can come to listen. So he said I am lucky is because my family background is is little bit different for the Chinese speaking student because my father's side is the English educated person. Okay, so every New Year gathering I must force to me to speak in English. Forcing me to. If you want to communicate with them, you must forcing to speak in English. So and debating some Bibles are this and that because they are Christian. So Christian. And then some if you want to further to speaking in the Bibles, they will say, "Ayah, you're speaking Bible. Good, very good. And keep further. So he said in English I try. I cannot assure 100%.
Yeah, I think
Aku lah.
many emotions comes from Mr. Lim's these 3 days rally from the help to the Chinese Assembly Hall and now in the UM. And I believe that upcoming maybe you will back to your hometown Malacca to I mean another possibility, but it's under the arrangement. I think because we are around the corner and then we need to close this session. Dr. Tan Chisek from USN, he's raising his hand. So maybe so Mei, can we extend the time? Oh, thanks. Okay, Dr. Tan, please unmute your mic and.
Okay, congratulations to Mr. Lim for your very interesting and comprehensive talk. Just one question, because based on my research and also some ideas, just want to know that whether there's any involvement or participations or infiltrations of the Kuomintang intelligence activities. That's mean either Juntung, the Bureau of Investigation and Statistics, the Military Council, or either Zhongtong, the Bureau of Investigation and Statistics of the Central Executive Committee, among those Nanyang volunteers. Any involvement of both agencies?
Oh, I know. I get your meaning. Your name is already famous. I went to see personally in the Pulau Pinang. You're based in Pulau Pinang.
Yeah.
I am in Malacca. 崇拜你甚久了，老师。崇拜你甚久了，久仰in Chinese say 久仰大名了。
请多多指教，多多指教啊！
哎呦，你拍一下。久仰了。你问的as your question, you say the investigation bureau both sides got the station in Malaya, but what the activity is, got the report to the Chongqing headquarters and need to check because their intelligence they didn't give the information. They say they use the code Morse code to send to the Chongqing headquarters. So after the war, the KMT branches in Malaya was already gone in Malaysia in 1940s to 50s already gone. So the archive, you ask the how to say 参与中统跟军统局有没有参与那个征募 need to check because we as our research is say the patriotism or say listen I see the Tangkang East announcement they say this is our forefathers, our mothers in Russian terms called our great mothers is calling us. We must fight for it. It means you ask the person is involved in this movement. Need to check. This is need to check because they do not give any traces in Malaya. They simply coded to the Chongqing government, military or commission 军事委员会 and simply to say and the head of the it is called 代理 as the counter senior some books they call the 代语农 because the counter senior 代理自语农 Taipei got the Yunong 小学 as his countersign name or the 调查局need to check because it's simply sent to the Chongqing left the education if God need to check the Academia Historica of the Chiang Kai-shek's collections because he is the head of the Military Commissions of the Nationalist Government 也要查的话是要查那个蒋正文物了啦，因为都是一律都是转交给那个军事委员会委员长蒋公正先生看的，至于怎样的话就真的是不知道，因为要查，
Thank you very much，谢谢，非常感谢提供那些 ，Thank you very much。
还有谢谢，我有你的问题我有想过，但是资料很少。但是那个东西他们这回报到重庆过去了的，但是留在马来亚有没有东西要看，而且现在国民党的东西又抄家，他们搬到那个政治大学，他们把国民党的东西搬到政治上 ，because the GPP's policy they want to cut off the KMT's archive now move to the National Chinese University Taipei, Taiwan. Because the DPP's policy, they want to check the white horror movement in the 1940s to 1990s, 1950s to 1990s， 白色恐怖时期啦
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much. We have a wonderful morning section to listen what Mr. Lin share on his findings in your books. So next section will be the photo sections. So I would like to ask Mei how to coordinate, how to control. So we have to start the photo section with the online participant first. Okay. So everybody, those who are online, please open your camera and we will have to take the photo with Mr. Lin, our distinguished speaker. Yeah. And Mr. Lin, 你坐这边 yeah. So the first will be Mr. Lin with the online participants, and our coordinator Mei will use the computer to click to screenshot the moments, beautiful moments. Okay, well done. Thank you so much. And this is the first lecture of the MCRC seminar section. And also here, I would like to thank the Malaysian Chinese Research Center of University Malaya MCRC Center, and also the Department of Chinese Study of University Malaya co-organized this wonderful session as a new start to share with Mr. Lin from Taiwan, spending his holiday here, but also share his finding a wonderful morning. And I hope in the nearest future, we will hear more insights and lecture and thoughts from other distinguished speakers. And for everybody, if you are able to access to the Facebook of the MCRC Center and also the Department of Chinese Study, you can follow the page and to know that the next upcoming lecture through the Facebook and websites. Thank you very much for today's sections, and I hope you have a good Monday. Thank you. So for the live session here, we would like to take a group photo.